It has been too long. I'm your host, Seth Wyatt, and thank you so much for joining us. It's been a long time since we were last on the air, and a lot has happened since then. So let's begin with a quick recap of recent TeenPact events. The 2017 TeenPact season was one for the books, with almost 3,000 four-day students and over 2,000 one-day students, and 56 state classes being completed in 41 states around the nation. With National Convention and the state class season complete, there's been a lot of talk about the upcoming 2018 season, even though the majority of the 2017 alumni events have not yet been joined. The first of these exciting announcements is the unveiling of the 42nd state in the TeenPact Nation, Nevada. This is clearly indicative of Nevada's increased collective interest in learning how to move the levers of power, since everyone in Nevada is already an expert on how to move the levers of a slot machine. All jokes aside, however, the prospect of another state joining the TeenPact Nation is an exciting one. This hasn't happened since 2015 with the great state of New York. Nevada in American politics also has a reputation for being a swing state, and it has only voted once for the loser of a presidential election in the last 100 years. The Democrats currently hold a narrow lead in the majorities of both houses of the Nevada state legislature. However, their Republican governor, Brian Sandoval, is a fairly popular governor statewide. The capital of Nevada, Carson City, has the distinction of being one of only 2 U.S. state capitals to be situated on the border of their state. But back to the matter at hand, TeenPact Nevada. The class is scheduled for mid-February, and rumors are circulating that this state class will be the first to experience an experimental new field experience entitled Casino. Just kidding. Additionally, the class is reportedly offering a 10% discount if you pay your enrollment fees with poker chips. Who knew? The 2018 intern team was also recently announced, and while the program may benefit from the minds and personalities of these excellent individuals, their height, particularly of the guys, is severely lacking. In fact, for the first time ever, the average height of the intern guys is significantly less than the average height of the intern girls. Mac McGee and Brooks Clayton are the only intern guys who are taller than 6 feet. I guess it's true that everything is bigger in Texas. Everything, that is, except Zach McCue. But most of them are much, much shorter. Several of them are basically just hobbits. Of course, the elephant in the room that has transpired since our last show is the TeenPact presidential election. From the very beginning of the campaign, it was a season of firsts. The first ticket announcement came the night before staff training, with the Roberts Holmes campaign announcing their intention to run. They began the season as the early frontrunners, needing very little momentum to recruit during the early season. This momentum, however, was quickly overshadowed by the Butterball Lynn campaign, who, through their stellar social media campaign and connections, began to rise to the front of the race. They boasted some impressive firsts of their own in TeenPact election history by being the first campaign ever to release a full-fledged and functional campaign website. But more incredible still was their release of an original song in the form of a full-fledged music video. Hourglass, the official music video, garnered over 1,300 views in its first few weeks alone. As the race was shaping up, it seemed that Roberts Holmes and Butterball Lynn were the 2 primary frontrunners, each holding a significant lock on their own primaries in Perseverance and Compassion parties. But in Vision, it was a different story entirely. By mid-March, Vision had 4 full major tickets and looked to be anyone's ballgame. Enter Alex Hale, a tenured travel staffer from Texas, and a guy who uses so much oil in his hair that he doesn't have any left for his joints. Alex Hale and his running mate Zach McCue took the TeenPact Nation by storm, amassing a large following on social media and installing a strong ground game. With 2 weeks to go before National Convention, Hale McCue jumped into the Perseverance Party with very little time left to make their mark. But make their mark they did. Hale McCue began recruiting campaign volunteers and rolling out their social media plan. The plan consisted of a series of videos that explained their message and introduced themselves as candidates. The plan worked to perfection. They entered National Convention as one of the highest polling tickets, and it became clear to all that the Perseverance primary was going to be dead heat. And to the last, it was. In one of the most competitive primary contests in TeenPact history, Alex Hale and Zach McCue defeated Truett Roberts and Cicely Holmes, only adding to the Texas train's seemingly unstoppable momentum. Butterball Lynn won the Compassion Party handily, and Gauze Fryer emerges the victor of the Chaotic Vision Party. As we all know, Hale McCue ultimately won the presidency in the biggest TeenPact landslide since McBride Campbell's victory over Andrew Selden Rust and Cal Busker in 2013. Now, there's a lot that went into this decisive win, and a lot went down at National Convention to contribute to that. But we will discuss that in another episode. For now, we will choose to discuss the focus of the candidates. A common criticism of TeenPact elections is that they are a popularity contest. People often make their decisions based upon which candidate they know best, but once a ticket is elected, there is very little actual responsibility associated with the position. In an effort to address this, former TeenPact president and part-time lampshade Jeremiah Fitzpatrick sought to emphasize a different aspect of the candidates.
Elections has continued to grow over the past couple of years, and that's been something to be awesome to watch. But I think there's a few misconceptions that go around in the minds of candidates and the minds of students sometimes, as they don't really understand the purpose of elections. They don't understand the thought process behind it. And I see a lot of candidates who look at elections and they see, oh, this is an awesome platform, and they're right. It's an incredible platform. But the platform doesn't come in from the minute you stand on stage, the minute and 30 seconds you stand on stage, the debates. That's not the platform. Essentially, you're competing for a platform. You're competing for a position. And I think there's a misconception out there that this is a mock election or a popularity contest, when in reality, I strongly disagree. This isn't a mock election or a popularity contest. This is a TeenPact election. This is an election for a TeenPact position, the position of student body president or vice president, the opportunity to represent the nation of TeenPact in the office of senator or representative. So as election continues to progress, I'd love to see it continue to move more towards a student body election mentality and allow people to vote based off of who they think will represent the ministry well, who will do an incredible job representing the student body as a whole to the board or to the national office or things of that nature. So as the elections continue to grow and the process continues to get more and more competitive, I'd love to see it continue to keep the focus of this is somebody who's going to be representing our ministry.
Right. So according to President Fitzpatrick, we're electing someone to represent the TeenPact nation. There is value in the office of the president and vice president, and they have a platform to represent the nation of TeenPact. So with this criteria in mind for voting in a presidential election, there are essentially two qualities of a ticket that can be evaluated to determine their ability to represent the TeenPact nation, and they are a candidate's message and a candidate's vision. But what do these mean? As important as it is to understand what a candidate believes, it's also very important to understand the difference between a message and a vision. A message is most often the slogan and idea that each candidate run on. Submit to his supremacy and abandon the stands are great examples of this. A vision, however, is the plan a candidate sets forth in order to best represent the TeenPact nation. This is something that has been emphasized more by TeenPact this year, as each presidential candidate was asked to include a course of action in their press releases. A message is the part of the candidacy that attracts voters. A vision should be the part of the candidacy that attracts votes. There are present within TeenPact two prominent and contrary viewpoints towards the position of president and vice president of TeenPact, and towards TeenPact elections. One is a message-based view. The other is a vision-based view. One view sees the office of TeenPact president as the student-elected head of the ministry, with the responsibility to further the ministry-based message of the campaign. The other sees the office of TeenPact president as the student body elected representative of TeenPact, with the responsibility to accomplish the vision set forth by the campaign. That being said, Alex Hale and Zach McCue are now our TeenPact president and vice president. While not much of their vision has been revealed as of yet, nor their philosophies towards the aforementioned questions, their message, Children of the Light, has become a household phrase within the TeenPact community. And that being said, welcome folks to the Alex administration. The Hale McCue ticket, like the Fitzpatrick Renfro before them, has changed how we view elections in TeenPact. Their quick, non-stop momentum has shown TeenPacters that being elected is not a one-size-fits-all formula. It's a journey with twists and turns that have the most unexpected of endings. We have a special guest with us today to discuss his vision for TeenPact, his view on the aforementioned questions, and his unexpected rise to the top. All right, we've got Alex Hale with us today for an exclusive interview with Last Week TeenPact. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing really well, Seth. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome. Well, we're very excited to have you. I want to jump straight into a couple of questions that I think the TeenPact Nation would love to know the answer to. There's some theory or speculation as to what you're doing in your personal life over the next year with college and whatnot. How do you plan on balancing your college education and the responsibilities that we know are important in your personal life with what the TeenPact people elected you to do in your office?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I will be attending Baylor University this fall. I'll be going in as a business fellow, which basically means I'll be studying a lot of different things. I will be double majoring in finance, philosophy, and I will be minoring in political science. So I understand the TeenPact Nation's concern. I'm going off to college. I will not be on site on as many classes as I would like to be, but I think the TeenPact Nation needs to keep in mind when Zach and I launched our campaign, we really utilized the power of social media, and we believed in the power of the internet to change lives, to change the world, and to connect lives, and to connect the TeenPact Nation better. Like our campaign videos, Zach and I especially hope to continue my rapport over social media and the internet, as I will be in Waco for most of my time this upcoming 2017-2018 season.
Gotcha. So what things have you been doing and what things will you do over the next year with your college education in mind to do what the people set out to elect you to do? What are some initiatives that you want to start? What are some things that you may do?
Yeah, so Zach and I have already been working a lot behind the scenes. We have been talking with Mr. Martin multiple times. We've been interacting with the TeenPact office, but we've also been really working closely with our TeenPact elected officials, our representatives and senators that were elected this past NC. We really wanted to give them an expanded role and give them an expanded opportunity to influence and share their thoughts and and voice their concerns with the TeenPact Nation throughout the season. So one thing that I can tell you, which will be rolling out this fall, is we will be initiating a new blog post series run directly through TeenPact that focuses specifically on what the elected officials want to say to their constituents. So we're really excited about that because this has never been done before. We're really opening up a new channel via social media for your representatives and your senators who have direct access and the direct opportunity to speak to you. So that's just one thing that we have coming up for this next season that Zach and I are really excited about.
All right, Alex. So we've talked a little bit about what you're going to do to represent the TeenPact Nation and the initiatives that you have moving forward and the sort of vision you have for the rest of the year. But all of this sort of beats around the bush at a very hard issue that many in TeenPact have begun to discuss. It's the idea of, or the theory of, what the TeenPact president should do. Who is the TeenPact president? And what are the TeenPact president's true responsibilities? There's one camp that sort of refers to the TeenPact president in a funny way as the pastor-in-chief, the head of the TeenPact ministry, the elected ministry head. There's another camp that talks about the TeenPact president more in a student body president light, as somebody who is called to represent the TeenPact people to the TeenPact administration and to the rest of TeenPact in a very political leader way. Where do you particularly stand on this issue, and how does this affect your approach to the job?
Love this question. So Seth, actually, I don't believe we are in either camp. I believe by the nature of TeenPact, a great TeenPact president shouldn't be on either side. Great things and great men are multifaceted and multidimensional. And just like TeenPact isn't just a ministry or just a political organization that no 13-year-old would want to go to, that is what the Hale McCue administration strives to be like, just like the way TeenPact is built. So TeenPact is built on the perspective that, it is built on a foundation on the rock of Christ, but its calling is to teach politics and to raise up young leaders as they have been inspired. We have been called by God to be excellent. And so what Zach and I want to do through our administration is we want to be built on Christ. We want to be built on the foundation that God provides and the strength he provides. But we want to go out into the world and we want to lead and represent and serve the TeenPact Nation well. So, yes, we are ministry heads, but we are also huge role players in the student body of TeenPact. We are in a big way the face of TeenPact. We are built on ministry, but we are called to address, improve, serve, and represent the TeenPact Nation well. I like to introduce myself as the national and student body president of TeenPact, and I don't think that just gives political connotations, because if you know TeenPact, if you understand the way TeenPact was designed and the mission TeenPact has, then you would understand that it's a multifaceted organization that takes divinely inspired power and God-given power and applies it to worldly excellence.
Thank you, Alex. We have Vice President Zachary McCue with us right now, in addition to President Alex Hale. How are you, Zach?
I'm doing fantastic. Thanks for having me on. This is definitely an awesome opportunity. I'm so glad to be here.
Awesome. We're so happy to have you. So while we have both of you here, there are some other questions we'd like to get you, but while we have both of you here, we'd like to address a bit of controversy with you. There is some rumor or goings-on within the TeenPact Nation that, to put it bluntly, Alex is a figurehead and Zach is the mastermind. The election was won largely because of Zach. This is not a comfortable topic to address, but I figure we address it head on. So, Zach, what do you have to say about that rumor?
Yeah, I'd say that there's no base to it. Rumors like that are started on, just false suspicions and things like that that really make no sense and really have no base. I think anyone who's met Alex knows that he's far beyond a figurehead, and this campaign is definitely led by him as the president. This administration is still led by him, and it will continue to be led by him. And it's just been an incredible honor to serve behind his leadership and follow his example that he's been setting. And so any claims that Alex may be a figurehead or anything like that really have no base and really just baffle me, because I don't see how anyone who has met Alex or who has heard Alex speak could even think that. And so, I don't want to throw any shade at anyone, but if you are of that belief that Alex is a figurehead, then go have a conversation with Alex, because that will clear that up in an instant.
Alex, do you have anything to add on that?
Yeah, so, wow, this is a weighty claim, but I really believe that it has no substance. Starting with just the whole idea behind the campaign, the synergy between Zach and I was incredible. I really, in my mind, of the campaign, and I think to most people, it was almost a 1 + 1 = 3 campaign, where there really was something about our partnership and our brotherhood that went just beyond the two individuals. And, myself on my own could not have done as well with this campaign. Zach on his own or with someone else, I don't think the campaign would have gone as well. I think my vision plus Zach's implementation and both our combined faith and focus on Christ really turned this campaign into something that really, blew the doors off our expectations. I think it's disappointing to not only simplify Zach into just a mind, but to simplify me into a figurehead. And I think for most people who really focused on the campaign and have interacted with Zach and I think they would understand that we're both much more than those things.
I want to go to Zach for a minute. Zach, you and I go way back. We've known each other for quite a long time. What's it been like to go from where you were in TeenPact as a starting out student to vice president of the TeenPact Nation?
Yeah, that's definitely extremely baffling. There's not too many words that can really capture the journey in the right light, except to say that this has been something that God has been behind. And I firmly believe that the journey that He's taken me on throughout TeenPact and throughout my time in TeenPact has just been absolutely phenomenal. And I know that I would not be in the office that I am today, I would not be in the position that I am today apart from God and God's plan. So I don't know why things happen the way they do. I don't know why I am where I am, but I know that God's hand has been behind it, and it's been extremely neat just to see His hand behind it and to see the growth that He's provided over these past few years. And so, this is an incredible opportunity that He's given me, and I'm not still entirely sure why, but I know that I'm extremely grateful, and that this entire road has been just absolutely incredible. There's not too many organizations that can take an individual from being scared to go to the governmental camp and scared to speak publicly to being a vice president of the organization. There's not too many places that happens, and that doesn't happen apart from the grace of God and apart from the growth that He provides and the maturity that He provides. And so my time in TeenPact has been absolutely incredible, and I'm really looking forward to what is in store next and what He has next. But I've loved the journey thus far, and the people that He's brought into my life through TeenPact has been absolutely incredible. Like you said, we go way back, and if it weren't for friends like you, weren't for friends like Alex, weren't for friends like Brent Vuderbaugh and Brent Bassbinder, and just so many different incredible people, then I definitely think the journey would have been way different. And I'd even wager to say that I wouldn't be where I am today if God had not orchestrated it so perfectly to put such incredible relationships in my life through TeenPact. And it's just been an incredible journey, like I said, and so I'm looking forward to what's next.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for joining us, Zach. It's been a pleasure to have you.
Yeah, thanks so much for having me. It's been awesome. I'll talk to y'all later.
Talk to you later. Thank you.
All right, bye.
All right, Alex. My last question has to do with, you've talked about how you believe that you won the election. You've talked about how you and Zach are going to walk out your vision moving forward. You've talked about how you're going to balance college with being TeenPact president. You've talked about the ministry versus the political leader and how both of those go hand in hand. I just want to sum all of this up in one question that I think is incredibly important, and I know it's one that you answered a lot during the campaign season. Why do you believe God called you to run for TeenPact president?
I think what God did was that He showed me an opportunity, and He laid something on my heart so heavy that I couldn't help but seize the opportunity He so evidently put before me. I can't necessarily why God called me to run, or why God chose to give me this message, but all I can do with that, with the limited vision I have, is to represent Him as best I can. Like I said before and during the campaign, throughout the campaign, Children of the Light was not a slogan, but was just a concept that has been brewing on my heart and mind for months and months before it ever formulated into a presidential campaign. But I think God has a weird way of choosing unexpected people to do unexpected things sometimes. But that's the best way, and that's His way. I don't know if I could tell you why He chose me and not anyone else, but I'm unbelievably humbled and blessed to pursue what God has placed before me and to pursue God's plan, even if it's something I never would have thought about doing before. He made it pretty clear that this is what He wanted me to do, and I think it was pretty clear to the rest of the TeenPact Nation when we launched on April 1st that Zach and I were pretty certain about this being part of God's plan for us, because nobody launches a campaign 50 days before national convention, right, unless it was something that God wants them to do.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, Alex.
Yeah, thank you so much, Seth.
Awesome. It's been such a pleasure.
Mine as well. You have a great day.
You too. Now we've heard from President Hale and Vice President McCue on their views of message and vision, their views on ministry or representative. These are the discussions that each and every one of us should be having as each TeenPact presidential election rolls around. Is the TeenPact president a position of a messenger or the position of a visionary? Or is it some combination of the both? These are the questions you should ask yourself as you go into the voting booth during NC or as you vote online during that week. Zach and Alex have plenty of time to roll out their vision and the rest of their message for the TeenPact Nation over the coming year. As Alex said, he will be balancing college with his office, and Vice President McCue has recently announced that he will be attending Worldview at the Abbey this fall, a gap year program affiliated with Worldview Academy, which frankly sounds a lot like, I don't know, collusion with a foreign ministry. Also reportedly this spring, McCue met with a representative of Worldview Academy, Brent Vassbinder, to discuss information Vassbinder allegedly had on Zach's main opponents in the presidential election. Or maybe Zach just wanted to know how Brent grew so tall. We look forward to watching President Hale and Vice President McCue represent the TeenPact Nation to the best of their ability over the coming year. But for now, that concludes our show. Follow TeenPact Comedy on Instagram and Facebook to stay updated. I'm Seth Wyatt, and this has been Last Week TeenPact.